Receive the highest value and unmatched security for the remittance sent by your loved ones abroad from People's Bank. Get extra 10 rupees for every dollar and receive a refund of transaction fees up to rupees 1,000 when depositing funds to a rupee account. Receive the highest value and unmatched security for the remittance sent by your loved ones abroad from People's Bank. Get extra 10 rupees for every dollar and receive a refund of transaction fees up to rupees 1,000 when depositing funds to a rupee account.
In a few moments, the news.
Receive the highest value and unmatched security for the remittance sent by your loved ones abroad from People's Bank.
This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
It's precisely 6:15. This is the news on Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. News is edited by Dulmin Samarasinghe and read by Sabrina Zawahir. The headlines. Steps have been taken to compile and update laws in identified sectors. 5 amended draft bills passed in Parliament. Public Accounts Committee approves to exempt tax on 2 development projects. Discussions to present report on electoral changes begin. Students who are not qualified to follow GCE advanced level will be provided with vocational training. A series of programs will be held to mark 70 years of diplomatic relations between Japan and Sri Lanka. And in world news, Russians and allies show their resolve. And in sports news, Chloe Kim wins snowboard halfpipe gold to retain title. Now the local news in detail. Steps have been taken to compile and update laws in identified sectors. Ministry of Public Security said those measures have been taken for public security. A meeting in this regard took place recently at the Ministry of Justice under the patronage of Ministers Ali Sabri and Sarath Weerasekara. Discussions took place on introducing laws to destroy drugs seized after keeping samples of those. The ministry said attention has also been paid to expedite hearing of cases related to children and women. Several draft bills, including Criminal Procedure Draft Bill, Anti-Personnel Landmines Draft Bill, Judicature Draft Bill, Civil Code Procedure Draft Bill and Transferring of Stamp Duty Draft Bill were passed in Parliament today. Taking part in the debate, MP Pramita Bandarathenakone said that the country has to face several pandemics apart from the COVID pandemic. He requested all political parties to engage in a political process while understanding the present situation in the country. Taking part in the debate, MP Mayantha Disanayaka said that a new legal system should be introduced. He said that Prevention of Terrorism Act should be amended to suit the present times. MP Susil Premjantha said that attention should be paid to hear court cases using modern technology amid the pandemic. He pointed out that the number of High Court justices should be increased. Discussions have been commenced by the Special Select Committee on Electoral Changes to present their report. Chairman of the committee, Minister Dinesh Gunawardena, said that the committee, which met at the Parliament complex yesterday, held the relevant discussions. The committee has been appointed to identify reforms needed in voting and structural changes of the voting system. More attention was paid on the electoral system. The committee discussed on divisional and ratio percentages if a mixed system is to be introduced. The minister said attention was also paid on the women's representation. Deputy Secretary General of Parliament Kushani Rohanadira said the committee will meet again on the 22nd and 24th at the Parliament complex. Minister Dinesh Gunawardena says that new provisions have to be introduced to present monthly financial reports to Parliament. He said that the government provides adjournment motions to the opposition and such matters can be discussed during that time. The minister mentioned this as a response to a request made by former Prime Minister MP Ranil Wickremesinghe in Parliament. This news is brought to you by Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Get extra 10 rupees for every dollar and receive a refund of transaction fees up to rupees 1,000 when depositing funds to a rupee account from People's Bank.
Continuing local news, a program will be implemented to provide vocational training to students who have not qualified to follow GCE advanced level. The aim of the program is to provide vocational training for students who have not qualified to study for GCE advanced level according to results of GCE O-Level 2020 and provide them with employment. The program has been planned by the Department of Manpower and Employment. Accordingly, 98,000 who have not been qualified for GCE advanced level have been identified. They will be provided with vocational training according to their preference after selecting them at Divisional Secretariat area level. The government has planned to implement the program under 2 stages. A series of programs has been organized to mark 70 years of diplomatic relations between Sri Lanka and Japan. State Minister Tharaka Balasurya said it will be organized together with the Japanese Embassy in Sri Lanka. During a media briefing in Colombo, he said the programs have been organized to further strengthen relations between the 2 countries contributing to economic development. He said Sri Lankan youth will get employment opportunities in 14 sectors in Japan. A delegation headed by the Deputy Director General for Administration and Financial Affairs of the Kuwait Fund for Arab Economic Development, Nadal A. Al-Olayan, visited Sri Lanka recently to sign a loan agreement to construct and equip the medical faculty at the University of Moratuwa. He assured Kuwait's support for prioritized development projects in Sri Lanka and to further advance bilateral engagements between the 2 countries in the spirit of friendship. With that, we conclude the local news.
Get extra 10 rupees for every dollar and receive a refund of transaction fees up to rupees 1,000 when depositing funds to a rupee account from People's Bank.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Health Ministry said today 373 more patients recovered from COVID-19 infection within last 24 hours. This brings the number of COVID recoveries in the country to 593,975. Meanwhile, 13,581 patients are being treated in the country at present. Sri Lanka has recorded 623,248 cases and 13,581 deaths since the outbreak of the pandemic. That was our main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
In Watchlight, the Colombo Stock Exchange is in the process of admitting new trading members to the Colombo Stock Exchange under revised criteria to carry out repurchase transaction on debt securities on the over-the-counter platform of the Colombo Stock Exchange. Interested applicants applying for the new trading memberships to carry out repurchase transactions on debt securities on the over-the-counter platform of Colombo Stock Exchange should complete the application form, which is available on the Colombo Stock Exchange website www.csc.lk, and forward the duly completed application as per the procedure mentioned in the general selection section of the application. That came to you in Watchlight. Next up, it's the world news. The headlines of the world news. Russians and allies show their resolve. U.S. National Archives requests legal probe of Trump overhandling of documents. Neanderthals extensions not caused by brutal wipeout. Now the world news in detail. Russian leaders insist their soldiers have no plans to invade Ukraine, but their troops raised alarms today as they prepared for a military exercise with their closest allies, Belarus. Troops will spend 11 days in the Brest region of Belarus in an exercise they call Union Resolve. They will practice using air defense and other missile systems. Fighter pilots will train in intercepting targets. The U.S. government agency that manages the prevention of presidential records has asked the Justice Department to investigate Donald Trump for his handling of official papers. U.S. presidents are required by law to transfer all of their letters, work documents and emails to the National Archives. But officials say the former president illegally ripped up many documents. New fossils are challenging ideas that modern human wiped out Neanderthals soon after arriving from Africa. A discovery of a child's tooth and stone tools in a cave in the southern France suggests Homo sapiens was in Western Europe about 54,000 years ago. That is several thousands of years earlier than previously thought, indicating that the two species could have coexisted for long periods. The research has been published in the journal Science Advances. That was World News. Prior to concluding, the headlines of the World News once again. Russians and allies show their resolve. U.S. National Archives requests legal probe of Trump over handling of documents. Neanderthals extinctions not caused by brutal wipeout. With that, we conclude the World News.
Development News is brought to you by Let's take all out of the coconut tree and make the island thriving and prosperous. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
The Industrial Development Board plans to facilitate the development of the domestic automobile and vehicle assembling industry. IDB Deputy Director General Development Kapila Nishanta says IDB will enable entrepreneurs to reach the next phase of industrial growth. He added the IDB will help the automobile industry with sharing of expertise and technology to boost the standard of the industry, vital to enhance efficiency and minimize environmental pollution. That was Development News.
Development News was brought to you by the coconut tree is well grown in almost all the parts of the island. It is an exceptional source of extra income. The shell, the husk and almost all the parts of the coconut tree makes you money, providing you with an excellent extra source of income. It will also help to nourish the economy of the country. You will be guided with all necessary informations regarding the coconut cultivation, with the novel cultivation techniques and all other related and upgraded informations by the Coconut Research Institute, Lunavilla. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928. Sports News is brought to you by
Sampath Bank. We present your future.
Chloe Kim won snowboard halfpipe gold with incredible ease to retain her Winter Olympic title from 2018. Unbeaten since 2019, the 21-year-old American blew her competition away with a 94 score on her opening run. American Nathan Chen won the men's Olympic figure skating gold to end the hurt of 2018, but defending champion Yuzuru Hayao jump record attempt failed at Beijing 2022. For Chen, aged 22, it was redemption after nerves destroyed his jumps when he was the favorite 4 years ago. Iran's Saweh Shamshaki has become the first athlete to return a positive doping test at the Winter Olympics. The 36-year-old has been provisionally suspended after testing positive for an anabolic steroid in Beijing on Monday. That was Sports News.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Tantri Trailers Private Limited recently signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the Vocational Training Authority to employ students following welding courses at the authority. Tantri Trailers will now recruit both skilled and unskilled individuals who are under training at the Vocational Training Authority with the aim of providing them with an all-around learning experience. That was Business News.
Business News, sponsored by
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
Former Chairman Anura Priyadarshana Yapa was unanimously elected to serve as the chairman to the Committee on Public Finance held on Tuesday. The amendment to the Provincial Councils Act was approved at the committee meeting held under his chairmanship. The legal effect of the section as amended is to provide for refunding any stamp duty overpaid or erroneously paid. Furthermore, the Gazette Extraordinary for the purpose of tax exemptions for the Colombo Container Terminal Expansion Development Project under the Strategic Development Projects Act was also approved at the committee meeting held. It will exempt the shareholders of the project from income tax for a period of 25 years and VAT, PEL, cess and customs exemptions will be for a period of 5 years. That was economic news.
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
Finally, it's a look at the weather report. Met Department says cloudy skies will prevail over northern and eastern provinces. Showers will occur at times in northern, north central, eastern and Uva provinces and in Hambantota and Matale districts. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places elsewhere during the evening or night. Fairly heavy showers above 50 millimeters can be expected at some places. That was the weather report. Prior to concluding this bulletin of news, the headlines once again. Steps have been taken to compile and update laws in identified sectors. 5 amended draft bills passed in Parliament. Public Accounts Committee approves to exempt tax on 2 development projects. Discussions to present report on electoral changes begin. Students who are not qualified to follow GCE advanced level will be provided with vocational training. A series of programs will be held to mark 70 years of diplomatic relations between Japan and Sri Lanka. With that, we conclude the news and over to my friend and certainly yours, who's all geared up to keep you entertained with a wonderful collection of music indeed. Over to you, Mariela.